of this is designed to fill like a hole in the market. It's always like some idea that I have, like, wouldn't this be cool? Or I start working on things and then I'll play guitar for 8 hours and I'll be like, ooh, that's awesome. It made me want to play guitar. And then, you know, I'll go down that road, complete it, it becomes a product. So this first pedal, the Avalanche Run, is definitely one of those. It's a delay and reverb that kind of expands upon our Dispatch Master, which is a small format, really simple delay and reverb. It's our biggest selling pedal. And one of the most common requests that we get for it is, you know, tap tempo, adjustable decay length, and stereo output. And that's basically what the Avalanche Run took care of, and then expanded on. So it has a normal mode, which the delay and reverb work as you would expect. The decay adjusts the length, the mixes in the reverb, time repeats. Tone is it's an important part of this pedal. When it's in the middle, it's completely unaffected delay signal. It almost acts like a looper. It's just a really strong repeats. As you dial it back, it becomes a really lo-fi delay. As you dial it up, it's more of a pristine digital delay. So yeah, there's an expression control that can be mapped to any of those controls and ratios for the tap tempo. And you want to show them the delay in normal mode? Sure. And I know you can't see the settings there, but pretty much everything is at new. Pretty much advanced, you know, more features, stereo output version of the Dispatch Master. So then we took it a step further and we're added reverse delay. So show them what reverse delay is.
Sounds like it's sucking and pulling the audio back. It's one of my favorites.
Dial back the reverb and turn the mix all the way up. When the mix is all the way up, the delay signal is fully wet, so you don't get any dry through. Almost tremolo sounds here. And then the other mode is swell mode, which the reverb swells in according to your pick attack, and the decay adjusts how fast that swell is.
It's like I would be doing this with my volume.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so that pedal has there's a lot of functionalities to it, and there's a lot of things you figure out while playing it. It does a lot of really interesting things, probably more than we have time to get into in the presentation, but afterwards, we'll show you all the weird stuff it does. Acapulco Gold. So this pedal has a weird backstory, which it was originally designed for a stoner rock festival in California called Psycho de Mayo. Some ridiculous. And they named the pedal, and they had the initial artwork, which had a giant pop leaf on it. They ended up not buying the pedals after we made them. They sat around forever on our shelves, and we ended up like releasing it probably like, how long? Like 7 months later, something like that. And little do we know, it would be a huge hit. It has one knob, and that one knob is for volume. It was designed to emulate a Sun Model T, which is a big stoner rock amp. And that's all it does, just one giant knob. But it's been one of our fastest selling pedals.
Amp tone.
It's cool, right? It's one big knob. Bellows. This is my favorite overdrive pedal right now. It was something that I was working on probably like 6 years ago. If you open this pedal up, there is nothing to it. I was trying to build a pedal with the least amount of parts possible, just to see if I could do it. And I did it. And then I put it in a drawer and didn't think about it again for like 6 years. And last winter I pulled it out. I'm like, oh, I remember this pedal. The original one looks like ketchup and mustard. So red enclosure with yellow knobs. I was like, this pedal looks like a hot dog. I wonder what it sounds like. It sounds like a fucking hot dog. Did we play it? So for me personally, that's my favorite. I really like overdrives that are kind of on the border of fuzz, and that pretty much nails it. So, Bellows, another pedal that I designed a while ago. We had all these. We have a Russian transistor supplier, and he had all these black glass germanium transistors. So, do you want these? I said, sure, I'll buy them all. So we bought like 6,000 of them, and then I was like, this is going to be a cool goal. I'm going to figure out what to do with these transistors. And the first thing I tried was to make a germanium booster, kind of like a Dallas Rangemaster, but with just a different focus on the tone. Something that boosted low end, and something that kind of made it like a telephone filter, similar to a treble booster, but a little bit more nasally and more pleasing, I think, when it runs into other distortion pedals. And then I did, and I put it in a drawer with the other ones. Didn't think about it. Found it when I was looking for that Bellows thing, and ended up, I really like it a lot too. Show them that. Like bass boosting mode, and I'll show you that with the Bellows. So yeah, Bellows. Really pretty. And the gray channel. This was, the gray channel is based on an old DoD 250 overdrive, which is the pedal that started with total selfish thing. I love that pedal still. I like it low gain, I like it high gain. Because I play with that circuit a lot, I know what different diodes sound like in it. So I gave the options on 2 different channels for basically 6 different clipping options. And it's just a pedal. It's a thing I wanted on my own pedal board. I liked it in light overdrive mode, I liked it in heavy overdrive mode, and it turned into the gray channel.
Yeah, right? Green channel with germanium.
So I play guitar in a band, and we had one song where I needed to turn on a tremolo and a phaser at the same time, but they were on my pedal board in complete opposite corners, and it was a nightmare. So I was like, well, what if I made something that did that? Because I can't, because I own a pedal company. So thing I can do. And then I took it a bunch of steps further. So what this is a harmonic tremolo. I don't know what it is about harmonic tremolos, I guess, but it kind of sounds like a phaser and a treble. So on the phaser side of things, the filter side of things, you can control the filter with an LFO. You can control it manually, which you just turn the frequency control and it presets the center frequency of the filter. Or an attack mode where it's like an envelope filter. Its frequency is governed by your pick attack. And then the tremolo side of things works the same way. You can choose the speed with your pick attack, and the rate will actually control the sensitivity of that. Or you can control it like a standard tremolo where the rate works like a rate. I'm going to show you that. So we're in attack mode on both tremolo and filter, right? I'm going to just put that in auto mode. Cool. Spatial delivery. It's a ridiculous name for a pedal. It's an envelope filter with sample and hold. The idea with this is there's an old Maestro FSH1 Maestro filter sample and hold. This is my favorite guitar effect ever. And this is, I've tried to come to design an envelope filter a billion times. It comes close to the actual sound of that, and I've never really nailed it to where I felt comfortable. So I just kind of started from the ground up, like what could embody that pedal but have its own unique sound, and this is it. So it has an upsweep and a downsweeping envelope, or sample and hold that controls the filter. The filter, with this control in the middle right here, you can sweep it from low pass to band pass to high pass, all on a single pot. So it can have a lot of different options for tone. And then it has it's a really resonant, almost to the point of feeding back, which is a thing I really like in filters. It can get really ringy, kind of like a synthesizer. And then you can adjust the range for the up and down sweeping envelope, or it controls the speed of the sample and hold.
Do a wah sound.
Wah sound. Let's sweep, oh. And then my favorite, the sample and hold. Yeah, spatial delivery. Cool play on words. Spires, again. Another selfish pedal. I have a Rosac Hoof Fuzz. It's an old 60s fuzz pedal that I really like the way it sounds. Rare, expensive, had it on my pedal board for a long time. Started becoming intermittent. It's really big. I wanted to recreate it. I opened it up. The whole circuit is encapsulated in plastic. You can't tell what it is. So I decided I would just try to just emulate the way that it sounds. So that is the green side of this pedal. The red side of the pedal is based on a silicone fuzz base, but with I don't know how to put it, like a more modern take on distortion and a wider sweeping fuzz control. And it fulfilled a need that I had for my own album. It's the green side. Red side. Top sellers. We have top selling pedals. Dispatch Master. Definitely our top seller. We've just crossed 10,000 units. Never said that word about a pedal. Unit. Yeah, it's cool. I got a gold trophy for it. There's a gold Dispatch Master in my office. It's awesome. So yeah, why I think this is a top seller is when this pedal came out, there really weren't too many delay and reverbs on the market. After this pedal came out, there's a million delay and reverbs on the market. So I kind of, even though it's not like that groundbreaking an idea, it sort of reopened that door that Boss did in the 90s with the RB3. And it's really simple. The reverb just blends in more reverb. The delay is a really clean digital delay, 1.5 seconds. You can dial out the reverb, you can dial out the delay. When you dial out the delay, the repeats control actually becomes a tone control for the reverb, and it's super simple to use. Check it out. Yeah. Afterneath. The award-winning Afterneath Otherworldly Reverberator. It is kind of its own thing. I'm not personally aware of anything else that sounds like it. I think it does a reverb, but it won't do any normal reverbs. The drag control on this is a clock control. And what that does is as you're slowing down the clock, it's pulling all the delay lines apart that make make it a reverb basically. And it turns into this pingy, the only way I can describe it is its name, Otherworldly Reverberator. And it is definitely like a soundscapey kind of device. And that pedal, it has so many options in it. It's definitely a pedal that you want to sit down and spend time with. And it's a non-jeweler's pedal, I think. You can hit a note and turn different controls, and all of a sudden, things will come out. Unexpected things. Rainbow Machine. Probably probably the most misunderstood pedal that we have, yet one of the biggest sellers. What it really is just a pitch shifter. It does a third to a fourth. But then it has magic. Magic's cool. Show them what that sounds like.
All right, we'll just go with one of the wildest settings then.
Yeah, this is the Rainbow Machine sound. It's a sound that everyone on YouTube is like, what the fuck, we use that. No one buys these. It's that sound. Yeah, that's the heart of the Rainbow Machine, which I love that pedal. It sat on a breadboard when we were still in the basement for over a year because I wasn't really sure, like, is this a thing that should become a pedal? It's definitely cool to play with, but everybody who would stop by would be like, that's amazing, you should put that out. One of my other favorite, like, you can do a lot of things with it too. It makes a really good chorus, it makes a really good basic pitch shifter. It does that ridiculous fairy. And then I like the climbing chorus where you slow down the tracking and slowly put the pitch off center. It's my favorite. This is my favorite. Really sounds better with magic. Rainbow Machine is, again, like the Afterneath, is a pedal that you can spend hours and finding different sounds on. Not for everybody. Hoof Fuzz, our longest running pedal. And kind of the pedal that really, I mean, it is definitely the pedal that launched Earthquaker. I used to tour manage a band called the Black Keys, and Dan, the guitar player, always played this one Green Russian Big Muff, and it had a different sound than other Big Muffs. It was a lot more articulate. It could get really nasty, but also really clean, and I kind of was fascinated about the really clean side of things. So I took basically that format for a circuit and just started messing around with it and came up with this, the germanium silicon hybrid of a classic Big Muff style circuit with an added mid control, and it's our longest running product.
Cross between fuzz and open.
Yeah, and the guitar is in the neck position, right?
One of my favorite things it does though is the shift knob, and you can kind of shift in the mid-range where the clipping happens, so it sits really well with the bass. You can dial it in.
Yeah, here, I'll turn the shift on. Hoof. Disaster transport seer. Advanced modulated delay and reverb machine. So we had, well, our second pedal ever was the Dispatch Master, Disaster Transport. There's a story behind that. There's a roller coaster at an amusement park by our place called Disaster Transport. The Dispatch Master name and Avalanche Run were also former names of this roller coaster. So that's the tie. So our second pedal ever was a version of the Disaster Transport, which is a 600 millisecond modulated delay. It had a unique problem, which when it came out, it was a pretty unique sounding delay. The modulation did some interesting things. The unique problem it had is we sold so many that I couldn't keep up with it, so I discontinued it because I was the only person building pedals. And it was easier to discontinue the pedal than constantly answer emails, where is my pedal? Because I was just selling them direct. So the easy answer was, doesn't make any sense actually now, thinking back on it. Like, why discontinue a thing that's really popular? But at the time it made total sense. I can't keep up with it, I don't want to answer these emails over and over again. Let me discontinue it, I'll come back to it when we have employees. And I did. So the Disaster Transport had a junior version, which was just a straight up delay, regular version, modulated delay, and then the senior, which kind of blends both of them together. Top line of controls are delay 8, and that's just a modulated 600 millisecond delay. Bottom on the Pro controls are delay B. It's a 300 millisecond delay with reverb. Bleed control, it mixes the reverbs together so they can run in parallel, in series, or in series and parallel at the same time, depending on where the bleed is set and what delay is on. So that is somewhat confusing. The manual has a really good block diagram. Even a baby can understand it. But this is what I was going for.
This is just delay 8, which is the modulated
B, so the output of delay A is actually going through delay B too. And what that, it creates really rhythmic effects, kind of like a echo or
Here's delay B by itself. Crank the reverb. Together.
Disaster Transport here. You can tell I really like soundscaping effects a lot. Marketing, I'm not a genius there. So I'm going to pass it off to my wife, Julie Robbins, who runs my equipment business.
I said I would do something, so here it is.
She's doing it. You want to do the slides?
Sure.
Womit ist der Fleisch auch.
Hey, warum ist hier nur einer und das? Hey, wie kommt das hin?
Zahnkraft, ja.
Hello.